What's up, y'all? Welcome to Trap Bougie Sweets, and we're going to show you how we make our famous strawberry crunch cupcakes. Let's get to it, y'all.
This recipe is very simple, but I'm going to show you the ingredients that we use to make it. You can, of course, do it your way, and I'm going to leave out some things because I can't give you guys all the tea. But first, I wanted to mention the important part. So, self-raising flour, 125 grams. 125 grams of sugar. I forgot. 125 grams of butter, unsalted, softened butter. You're gonna need 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. You also are gonna do. You're also gonna use 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You're also going to need 1 1/2 of whole milk, but I'm lactate, so I'm going to use lactate milk. And then you want 2 large eggs. Your bowl doesn't matter, but just make sure it's big enough to hold all of your ingredients. So first we're going to go ahead and just insert our dry ingredients. Then you want to add your sugar. You want to add your baking soda. Go ahead and add that in there too, since it is a dry ingredient. I am going to mix together these ingredients, give it a whisk so that way we can, have everything mixed together. And then that should be good. Now for the hard/easy part, you want to go ahead and incorporate your, I keep using incorporate. I keep wanting to say, you want to go ahead and mix your butter in because, of course your butter is softened already, but it can just splash everywhere and it just makes the process a lot more easier if you just go ahead and mix that in first before you add the rest of your wet ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and mix this together, and then once I'm done, I'm going to add the wet ingredients. I am not good with being recorded, okay? I prefer to just make my food and then go about my business. So we're gonna give this a good mix, and then once we're done, we'll add our wet ingredients. At this point, your unsalted butter has been blended, but a lot of times it's not completely blended well because it's splattered everywhere in the bowl. So you want to just take your spatula and just scrape the bowl, and gather all of that unsalted butter. And you want to re-go back in. Did I say that right? Re-go back in? Whatever. But you want to go back in and remix it again so that way you can make sure that it's fully blended and fully smushed together, so that way when you put your wet ingredients in, everything mixes well and nothing's clumpy, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. If you've allowed your butter to soften correctly, your process should not be that difficult. But at any given time, if you have an issue with your butter and your butter is not softened before you are beginning your order or whatever you're about to do, I would just pop it in the microwave for about 15 seconds and easy peasy, your butter should be softened and you should be ready to use it. And now we're ready to start with our wet ingredients. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this to the side because we're done with that. And start with our vanilla extract and our whole milk. Well, I'm using lactate, but you get the vibes. You get the vibes. And then you're going to need 2 large eggs. You will find that cracking your eggs on the side of a corner of something like a table or something like that is a lot much better than just boom on the table. Cracking it on the side gives it that great hole in the middle, so you can just boop, pop it on open. Now we're gonna go back in with our mixer and mix it again. didn't record this part, but I wanted to show you what it looks like if you have blended the wet ingredients with the dry. No lumps, no clumps, a full and ready mix. So we're gonna allow our stove to heat up because I forgot to do that. I'm about to wash these dishes up, and then once I'm done, I'm going to show you guys how I cup everything, and we'll get ready to do the fun part, which is decorating the cupcakes. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we're done with our mix, it's time to start cupping our cups. So that way we can put them in the oven. So I have here some pre-made graham crackers that I crumbled up. And if you like that method of how I make them mushy like sand in order to make it stick to your cups, comment below and I'll make that too. I also went ahead and made our butter icing. If you like that method, comment below. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and cup our cups. With the back of your spoon, you just wanna smush it down, and you wanna do that process to all of them. Unless you just want it to be crumbly, and if you want your cake mix to rise with the crumbs inside the mix, then you can do it that way too. But I just prefer that you give that graham cracker the base of the cupcake just to make it, give it a crunch when they bite into it. Just tastes a little bit better. You don't have to do it this way. You don't even have to add the grams if you don't. This is just our famous strawberry crunch cupcakes. So we do it our way. But now that we're finished, we're going to go with the fun part, which is strawberry jam. You don't have to use jam. You can use whatever type of flavor you like. You don't even have to add the strawberry jam until the end. But I just seen that when you add your strawberry jam into your mix as you're cupping them, it seems to give it more flavor when it comes out. So I'm gonna just take a spoonful and mix this up some. Now you also can make your own strawberry jam. I can also give you guys that recipe too. If you like it, just comment below. It's very easy to make. I just didn't feel like making it so I'm just gonna do it this way. So I'm just gonna take a big spoonful and just put some in. And I'm gonna do this two spoon method, which is basically you take 2 spoons and you scoop everything out instead of just, instead of just pouring your mix in there and then also putting your jam in there on top. Nah, you want to incorporate all of the mix together. So I have some jam here, and I'm just going to start cupping everything. This is a great way to stay clean by doing the 2 spoon method, keeping everything organized and not messy. There's a lot of people that tend to get those little pouring cups that has like a pointy end to it, as if you were making Kool-Aid. That's cool too, but that also can get messy because if you ever notice, when you're pouring liquid or you're pouring anything that is not of an easy substance to where it has a drip, it tends to get messy because as you're doing it, you have to wipe it off and make sure that it's not going everywhere. The 2 spoon method just seems to work out a lot more better. So now we have them fully cupped. I'm just going to add more into the ones that need more. Now with this, you already added the grams at the bottom. Doing that, you're kind of filling your cups a lot, and when it rises, you don't want it too high because then it just becomes, it overcrowds on the cup, meaning that when you, as it's rising, it will overflow, and you don't want that because now it looks like a mushroom instead of a cupcake. So I'm gonna take a taste to be sure. They taste so good. So we're done with that, and we're just gonna pop them in the oven, and we will see what they look like when they rise. Oh, and you do want them to be in the oven for about, I would say 25, but depending on what number you have your oven on, depending on the time you put them in, it might be longer, it might be less. I have my oven on 250 because I don't want them to cook too fast, considering the mix is already kind of thick. And on top of that, I just want them to take its time to rise. There's no rush unless you're in a rush. So yeah, when it's done, I'll let you guys see them. Okay, so our cupcakes are done and they're a little warm still, but that's okay. So I moved them from the pan into a cupcake box, and what I'm going to show you is I like to stuff my cupcakes. Now, ours normally has whipped cream, and unfortunately I forgot the whipped cream, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to use whipped cream if you don't want to anyway, but I did want to recommend that whipped cream does give it a little more flavor. But with or without the whipped cream, I'm going to show you how we stuff and pipe our cupcakes. So I have a scooper here, and this is, I'm going to use the 22 in and 25 in. I'm going to use the 22 in, a little bit smaller because I don't want the inside too, you know, too big. So unfortunately my phone did not pick up me decorating the cupcakes that I had before, but we're gonna go ahead and redo it so I can show you guys how I pipe. So in my bag I have a open tool, and I'm gonna stick it inside the hole and bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, then you swirl. One on top. Boop. So I'm gonna try a cupcake. Thank you so much, you all, for watching our YouTube channel on how we make our strawberry crunch cupcakes. If you'd like to purchase it, you can DM us or you can book us online. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye, you guys.